Hello, good
Happy
evening.
Doodle, everybody.
Welcome. Give me 2 seconds. Just got to do something.
Pretty.
Oh, and something else.
Oh.
There we go. There we go. We can go now. Sorry, I've got to do live edit while we're doing this. We've got comments coming in already. Marion's here. Good evening, Marion.
Hi, Marion.
Mickey's here. Mickey, excellent. Thank you. Can you send me your address, please, for your mug? Cheers, dude.
DM it.
I know
don't
you've probably,
comment it.
Yeah, don't comment it. I know you've probably given me at some point because I've driven to your house, but I can't find the message. No. And Danny's here as well. Good evening, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
God, they were quick.
They were quick off the mark.
They were. So it's good.
They've clearly
excellent.
Oh, you know what it is?
What?
It's because it's half term for most places. No one to get ready for school.
Yeah, all the kids are up still. Are they watching, maybe?
Don't know.
Do you let your kids watch this? I don't know if I'd do that.
I think you should let children watch this. We are appropriate.
Jess is just, well, funny enough, Jess always lets Noah watch.
Yeah.
When Noah's
aside from your inappropriate language.
Yeah, it is normally pretty good. But hi, welcome to another Wiccan Warriors Sunday show. In tonight's show, we're going to be talking about urban legends and some of the ones that kind of, it's just a couple that we found most interesting that are kind of local to us.
Mm-hmm.
The winner's mugs, a bit of an update on that is coming up. Our visit to Sywell Gift Fair. Some spooky happenings that have been going on in the house that freaked Penny out. And why I'm wearing goggles now.
If anybody cares.
Yeah, if anybody cares, or even noticed, I suppose. So yeah, that's it. So we'll get on with the show in a second. Yep, there we go. You see, Noah is our biggest fan. He's our youngest fan as well, I think.
Excellent.
And one of our newest fans, quick mention to Mitta, who we got.
Oh, hi, Mitta.
I wasn't going to mention these till later because it's
we met you today.
Thing. So yeah, I got replenished some of my gemstones. But more about that in a bit.
Thank you, Jess.
I want to quickly just check who's popped on. Oh, did you send her a message and tell her to do that?
No. Do you know what it is? It looks really shiny for no apparent reason other than I've washed it. Sorry. And It is pink again.
Just having a quick look. We've got most of our viewers on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, click the little love heart thingy bob, because that apparently tells Facebook that we're really popular and it will share it with other people.
Oh, that'd be
Something
nice.
to do with the algorithm.
Algorithm.
You're
just making up words now.
Yeah, of course I am. So yeah, so that's what's going to be happening in the show.
Yeah.
But also this show, I want it to be a little bit more relaxed. I felt a bit hyperactive last week.
I think you're hyperactive every week. I don't know how we don't scare people away. I'm always telling you off and you're always buzzing.
I was earlier because I had tablet.
Scottish tablet.
Not a tablet, Scottish tablet. And that did give me a bit of a buzz, which I think actually I got the slope of that about 5 o'clock, where I think I got a sugar come down.
There is quite a lot of sugar in Scottish tablet.
Yeah, but I also got that craft fair as well. So we'll talk about that in a bit.
You did.
So there we go. Some love hearts appear on the screen. It makes me happy.
It does.
Thank you.
We're really easily pleased.
So how's your week been, Penny?
Wow.
Update our 3 fans.
3. You're hilarious. Well, it was my birthday.
It was.
During the week. And there's nothing cuter than 30 children singing happy birthday to you first thing in the morning. I know. It was cute, though. I liked it.
Oh, good. As long as you liked it. You did get a personal message from your friend.
I did. My lovely friend, Jules Aradia, in Nevada, in Reno. And she sends me one every year. And they're proper cheery. They're really uplifting. And it makes me quite...
I don't know what she's on, but if you're happy and you know it, share your meds.
Yeah. She's high on life. She spends a lot of her time, actually, if you get the chance, if you're on Facebook, look her up, Jules Aradia. She does sonic Reiki sessions 1 evening a week, but obviously because she's in America, you need to make sure you get the right times.
Yeah.
And she's actually a singer. She was previously a pagan singer.
Oh. And
she's got albums available and everything.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. She just sends you that message.
She does. The first one she sent me, I was like,
do one every day
Lord. No.
all of her friends. She just sings a
No,
birthday
I
song.
think I'm really important and she just does them for me.
Of course you are. Obviously, that's true.
Yeah, no, that was lovely. That cheered me up no end. Stop it.
So
But I did put out a message that said that I'm not taking any notice of numbers anymore because that's about the passing of time and not appreciating now. So
on my birthday and age has got absolutely no relevance to what's going on inside my head.
and anybody that's ever spoken to you will agree.
Yeah. Like I said today, and some people thought it was funny, it's not my fault I look like an adult.
No, that is true.
That's not my fault.
So in theory, although it's half term for a lot of people, it's not for me because I'm back at work tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going to cross the border and go to another school.
I am. It's quite a long way.
I'm not, because it was all primary school work.
So,
No, I don't want primary school work. I like angry teenagers.
well, I'm travelling quite far for the week.
Yeah, you are, actually.
And then I've got to get up at stupid o'clock on Saturday to deliver speed awareness training.
Yeah, if you ever get caught speeding, you could end up with Penny doing your speed awareness training course.
Yeah, so that's going to be good.
That'd make it better or worse.
Probably.
Better, obviously.
Yeah, well.
It was far too long a pause there. I thought I was in trouble for a second.
Anywho, so yeah, it's been quite a busy week.
Yeah.
Except Friday. I had Friday off because it was teacher training and did nothing. And I sat in my lovely birthday gift of an Oodie, which is the best invention in the whole entire world, and evil in equal measure. It just makes you really sleepy and snuggly. And I've been approached again by another company that want me to model for them.
Excellent. Is it underwear?
No.
Well, fair enough.
Nobody needs that. Middle-aged dumpy grandma in lingerie. Nobody needs that.
Oh, I knew Mickey would pipe up with that because I've seen one of his videos.
Hoodies are the best, aren't they, Mickey?
I'm not sure. I think I'd get too hot in it.
I bought one for my granddaughter for her birthday in February and was super jealous of it, but there was no way I was going to fit in hers.
And I also have this thing in my brain where it goes, "Oh, I like the look of that." Oh, no, it's a trend. Oh, no, balls to that. As soon as I spot that it's a trend.
No, it's not a trend, though.
Oh, it is. It's all over. I've seen loads of
lovely Adele had one when she lived here in 2020.
Yeah. What, as a
but
trend?
Now they've got them now they've given them a posh name and throw out some adverts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I've done all my ironing. It's
Marian's
Sunday.
liking that idea of you being a... Oh, I thought it said underwear model, but
no,
fair
it
enough.
doesn't
just
say
model.
underwear model. So I've actually been approached by a number of people to tout their wares, as it were.
I've got no issue with that.
So I just need to find time to engage. Really, find time. Anyway, what have you been doing?
Me, working.
Oh.
That's cool. As you guys know, I work as a behaviour mentor with 11 to 14-year-olds. So this week involved being shouted at. I got a door slammed. Well, he was going to slam it, but I'm a parent, so I can see when somebody's going to slam a door behind him. So I stepped into the space, so he couldn't. And then he gave me a load of attitude and said he was going to bang me out. And I was quite confused as to actually what that meant. But he didn't, obviously. And then about an hour later, he apologised to me because I'm one of his favourite teachers there. Oh. I'm ever so sorry, sir. I hadn't taken my meds properly and I'm having a bad day. I know you are, dude. You're not a bad person. You just had crappy behaviour. So it's no worries. You shook my hand. We apologise. We move on. Okay. So yeah, other than that, I went for an eye test. And now I have to wear glasses. But only when I'm reading, driving, looking at a screen, or my eyes are open.
Doing anything.
Yeah, essentially. Because what they've found out is I've got astigmatism in my right eye now, and I think it's short-sighted. So I didn't realise it was actually an issue until they do. So you're in the opticians do that better with or without.
Number one,
number two. And she went number one. And I went, oh no. Number two. Oh wow, I can see. And all of a sudden I could see where my eyesight was actually off. So now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because if I take them off, it makes my head go funny. but putting them on, the bridge of my nose now hurts. I don't know how you get on with this, wearing glasses permanently. I never wore them as sunglasses, so it's taken a bit of getting used to. So, coincidentally, I do like the coincidence that Odin gave the sight in an eye to gain infinite wisdom and knowledge. So maybe
when's that coming in?
As I'm losing vision in one eye, maybe I'm gaining knowledge and information. As my spiritual journey progresses, I'll get blinder and blinder in one eye.
I've not seen it yet.
Maybe. Don't know. It also explains why my youngest, Adele, she's always had problems with one eye since being little and had to wear glasses.
Yeah, but this all emanated from your funny turn that you had.
Yeah, I believe that. In September, when I had my heart attack collapse thing, I'm fairly certain when I came round from that and was recovering, it's like my eyes feel different, my vision feels different.
They were quite weird.
So yeah, that was a strange time. The end of last year.
On a positive, where are we going next? What's the next bit of conversation?
On a positive, I'm off the next couple of weeks, so please be prepared for new dates for psychic nights. We spoke to a couple of vendors today, actually, which I'm going to touch base with to see about different workshops that they had and whether we can potentially host one, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
The candle making one. I know that sounds a little bit camp.
Oh,
but
God,
the candles look
gorgeous,
awesome.
though.
I can make a manly candle. Sure, I can.
One of them looked like a
like
pudding.
I'm glad Nick's not watching.
To eat it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I've seen loads of videos of that. Though people walking up to the shop lush and putting bits of soap in their mouth.
Yeah, you have to follow very strict parameters about making things that look like food.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Let's get into it a little bit. Like I said, we're going to talk to you about some urban legends, and the ones we've picked.
Before we do that, should we say about the weird stuff that happened here the other day?
Yeah, go on then.
That was Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Go on then. You tell people what happened to you, because it didn't happen to me.
So I was doing some grown-upping on Friday, as in organising finances and filling stuff in and
Adulting.
And I don't use this main computer very often. It's really your computer. I use my laptop.
Yeah, it's the one I tend to edit.
But it's got a lovely wireless keyboard. So I'd done lots of typing and things like that. And then it started to snow, as it did on and off the last few days of the week. And I turned to look out of the window at the snow because it all of a sudden went, and now I'm going to snow. I looked out the window and I turned back and I went to carry on typing and the keyboard had stopped working, which was a little bit annoying because I was right in the middle of something and it was quite awkward. Everything I tried, couldn't get the keyboard back going. And because we live in the middle of nowhere, the weather affects the internet, the electrical stuff. It's a bit of a nightmare. So I thought, do you know what? I'll do the age-old IT thing.
Turn it off and on again.
Turn it off and on again. And then couldn't log back into the computer because the keyboard still wasn't working. So I couldn't type the passwordy bit to get back in. And it was like, oh, I don't know what to do now. That's really frustrating. Couldn't see any reason why it suddenly, for no reason, stopped working. So I went in the other room, did everything on my phone. And when I'd finished, I thought, I'm going to have a look at the keyboard and see if there's a on-off switch. Maybe I've hit the switch and not realised that I've done it, or it's the weather's affected it and it's dropped off the internet and it's turned off. And actually it has got an on-off switch, but it's quite inset and you've got to wedge your fingernail into it.
Yeah, it's not one you could just brush your finger over. You've got to click it.
It's a really awkward one to do, and it was off. So wasn't entirely sure what that was about, but was a bit cross. So I wasn't freaked out, I was frustrated. So I went back into the other room to get my phone, and my phone was gone. And I thought, do you know what, maybe I'm just tired, and I am well known for leaving things in random places. So I literally searched everywhere. I had all the cushions off the sofa. I even looked in the fridge. I went into the toilet and the bathroom. I searched the house and could not find it. And I came back into the office and just stood in the middle of the room and went, oh, that's enough now. This is getting ridiculous. I just want my phone back. And then for whatever reason, I walked into the Reiki room, and my phone was lying next to the lovely, lovely doll, Anna.
Bella.
Well, my phone was lying next to her head on the my Reiki bench. So I was a little bit cross. And he was like, all right, you've had your phone. I'll have this back now.
Did you check Facebook to make sure she hadn't updated
I
any
was
statuses?
wondering if she'd chucked out some TikTok videos or something. That would have been interesting.
That would have been amazing. Nobody would have believed us.
I never thought to look in the photos, see if there
Maybe
was
that's
some
the
selfies.
idea, though. I should do some proper TikTok videos with her.
Maybe that's what she's hoping.
Yeah.
Either way, I was a bit cross. If she's nicked my phone, there was no need for that whatsoever. I was already frustrated.
Amory Blackwell. Is that the one you got from us? Yeah.
What? Yes.
The doll, yes.
Anne-Marie. She nicked my phone.
Yeah, Mickey, my boy with a haunted doll.
So, yeah, it was a little bit frustrating on Friday.
She is getting more powerful. She is.
Yeah, I know.
I need to get a cabinet, actually.
Yeah, and smudge that room again.
I spoke to her about that because I was having a chat with her about what kind of box she would like that would defend her.
The coffin-shaped one.
I quite like the idea of a coffin-shaped one with a glass top that you can
in a hole in the garden.
So I don't know if there's any joiners out there who can
either way
knock me up a doll-sized coffin.
I was quite cross.
Yes, apparently so. She don't like you anyway.
Well, we are aware of this, but to nick my phone's a little bit annoying.
Could have been worse.
How weird. So, yeah, don't know how the keyboard managed to turn itself off.
Well, there we go. You see, Anne-Marie asking us to have a similar event. Same doll we have. Bum, bum, bum. We should do a haunted doll party. A haunted doll tea party.
Ooh.
I think that's a really good idea. Mickey,
we should work. I'll have her back any time.
No, I would never bury her.
I realise that you love her.
Good God.
It's weird.
No.
And she has made it very clear from that first minute that we are not chums, but
yeah, no, I'll have a word.
It was a bit annoying. I think you're more likely to hear a news story that I've been found buried in the garden.
With me trying to go, it wasn't me, it was the doll. We don't know why,
but there was a doll lying nearby with a spade. Yeah. So
that freaked you out.
It didn't freak me out. It aggravated me. It frustrated me. Because much as I love a contact, I don't like it when it causes me inconvenience and gets me to question my own sanity. Because to be fair, that's a bit dodgy at the best of times.
Yeah, so Anne-Marie just said there, dog comes in with mud on her shoes.
Why, she got leaves in her hair?
Incidentally, I haven't told you this. But
God.
On Saturday,
yeah,
I was milling about, weren't I? I'd been doing a bit of adulting here, sorting some bills out, and then I'd got my headphones in and stuff. I had put my phone down somewhere.
Yeah. She had your phone as well?
No. And then couldn't figure out where it was. So I walked round, still couldn't see it, and then went into her and went, have you got my phone again? Is this you mucking about? I was like, no, it was upstairs. Not that she said no, but it wasn't there.
That would have been hilarious.
It's like, no, it wasn't me, honest.
Oh, I wish I had my phone. I could have recorded her talking to me.
No, I went upstairs and I just left it upstairs next to the bed.
Oh, right.
So I think I left it upstairs next to the bed.
It's not like you.
I'd been up there to get changed.
In your hands.
Yeah. It's normally always nearby.
Yeah, how weird. Anyway, so I was retelling that story to one of my daughters, and she started...
They're not coming around for a while.
No, she started adding to it about what potentially could have happened and what she expects is going to happen. And she was sitting on her own in the house at night.
Just creeping herself out.
And she went, I'm a bit scared now. It was like, well, whose fault is that? I just told you a story. You've added to it and made it frightening.
Terrible.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Let's get into the urban legends. Let's have a quick background change.
That's very dramatic. I'm most
So,
impressed.
Let's hear what these are the urban legend people that we're going to talk about. The first one is Black Annis, which I don't know if you guys have heard of. The next one is the Black-Eyed Kids of Cannock Chase, which I'm interested in doing a bit more research in this. Physically,
Road trip.
Yeah. I can feel a spooky ramble coming on up to Cannock Chase.
Okay.
And the other one is Herne the Hunter. And this one's a little bit of an abstract one because it's not so much an urban legend, but it's also part of my belief structure. So I thought it'd be quite interesting. And the last one we're going to talk about is the Dutch doll.
But don't go into detail.
So yeah, that one is really interesting actually. And again, it's another one that we can get to locally to investigate a little bit more.
Yeah. We were going to talk about it before, but we didn't.
No.
Because instead we went to the Holy Trinity Church in Rothwell, the crypt.
Yeah, we did the crypt. If you haven't seen the crypt, check out the crypt video.
Which was only found, for anybody that didn't see the crypt video, or us talking about it on one of our shows, was it was only found because a gravedigger was working in the grounds of the church and fell in.
Yeah, he fell through the door. The
Yeah,
door was rotten.
he didn't realise it was there and he fell in. But interestingly, he fell into the darkness and just landed on these hundreds of bones and freaked out, and apparently completely lost his mind, which he never recovered. Right up until he died, he never recovered from that experience. He went mad.
Crumbs.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So
yeah, check out the video on that. Right, you get yourself ready to talk about Black Annis.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quick love heart check for anybody who's just turned up. Please hit the love hearts on Facebook or hit share and tell a friend.
Yeah. Before we go on to that, Anne-Marie's popped a comment.
Yeah, so many people don't realise that
Rothwell
crypt.
Rothwell. I didn't know it was there and then got very excited. And then every time we booked to go, we couldn't go for
but
whatever
even if you're not
reason.
in Northamptonshire, it's such an easy place to get to because it's just off the A14.
Yeah.
Which is one of the main veins of the country.
Yeah.
So...
Right, so let's talk about Black Annis. I don't know if anybody's heard of Black Annis before. She's also called Black Agnes and Black Anna. Okay, so this is an urban legend around Leicestershire. And it is about, and I'm really uncomfortable with the terminology that's used around her, in that she's described as a blue-faced hag or witch. And she's referenced as a witch. I make myself feel better with the terminology, with the fact that any woman that lived alone who dealt with herbs and things and was separate from society was termed as a witch.
Yeah, it's all from the persecution of Christianity.
Right.
Christians, from the Christians.
So she had apparently, she was blue-faced, she had iron claws, really long arms, and a taste for human flesh, especially children. So I don't know if there's anybody on here who's from Leicester Way that has heard of Black Annis, but there's quite a lot of information on the internet about her. Apparently she was, I'll get to that bit. So she is said to live in the Dane Hills, and that there is a huge oak tree, a great oak tree, that is outside of the cave that she lives in, which you can find if you feel like going on a bit of a hike, or if you know the area really well. But apparently you can find the cave, but you won't be able to find her unless you happen to be at the cave at night. No, I don't want to do a spooky ramble there. Thanks.
I would.
I know. So,
you know me, I like a witch.
The story goes that she used to go out at night looking for children or lambs so that she could eat them.
Is that because they taste the same, do you reckon? Sorry to ask the dark question there. But...
Not having the same taste. Being a vegetarian, I'm not really sure.
Okay, let's move on. Sorry.
So, But what she would do was she would skin them, eat them, and then tan the skins by hanging them in the tree, and then she would wear the skins around her waist. Attractive look. So she had super long arms, and the reason why she had super long arms was so she could reach into houses, reach in through the windows and snatch children while they were in their beds. She'd used her iron claws to dig her cave for her to live in, and that is actually, you can find that online and you can go there. It's called the Black Annis Bower Close. What she also used to do was hide in the tree and then drop down on anybody who went under the tree.
Nice.
To kill them. But she preferred to eat children.
Right, let me just, while Penny's telling you about this, I'm going to drop a picture into the comments if I can.
If you can. Okay. So legend has it that people could hear her grinding her teeth. And when they could, in the early evening, when they heard the grinding sound, it would give them time to lock their doors, bolt them, hang skins over the windows, shut the windows, hang skins over them, keep away from the windows, but then hang protective herbs around the doors and windows to try and stop her coming in, reaching in and taking their children. Early cottages that are around Leicestershire all have really small windows, and apparently it is because of this legend. So the smaller the window, the less likely it would be that she could get in through the window. She would only be able to reach in a little bit, but she wouldn't be able to properly reach in because the windows are too small. Okay. So I mean, if you're in that area, have a look, see if you can find some old cottages and see if they've got these tiny windows.
Every time I do that, I can see the reflection of that light in my glasses, and I think it's a polo min.
Oh my lord.
That's what I keep thinking.
So distracting.
I love being neurodivergent. It's hilarious. Sorry, carry on.
The other part of the story is that she's represented as this monstrous cat. And it led to a local ritual that happened every year in early spring, around this time of year. This is really unpleasant. And they would drag a dead cat before a pack of hounds that apparently was also laced in aniseed, whether that's the black anise thing, the anise part of it, but it was laced in aniseed as well. But it would be dragged past her bower to celebrate the end of winter. So it was called the drag hunt, and it was held on.
Say that carefully.
It was held on what is now Easter Monday, but was called then Black Monday.
Ooh.
Remember, black anise? They're using aniseed, they're doing the drag hunt, and the hunt went past her bower to the Mayor of Leicester's house. And
brought you a dead cat.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And a pack of dogs. Sorry, we're trampling your garden.
But at least the creepy old lady won't steal our children.
Yeah, but that only happened. That happened every year, but it only stopped in the 18th century. So that went on for a really long time that actually happened. Linked also to that is Cat Anna. Cat Anna apparently lives in the cellars under Leicester Castle. And there are underground passageways, and this monstrous cat, Cat Anna, would run under these passageways and try to snatch people. And apparently there are tunnels that lead from there to the hills, the Dane Hills, which is where she lived. Anyway, I thought that story was super interesting.
I think it is, because could there be elements of truth in that? Did you have a look to see if anything historically took place?
I did, but it's really hard because what's documented is just that it was a legend. But interestingly, there's plays about it. I think there's a computer game that's been
There's a properly
designed
established character
around
in
it.
history.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That's cool.
And the fact that it will be documented that annual ritual occurred.
Yeah, I don't think we should revive that one.
No, I'm thinking that somebody's going to be unhappy about that.
Peter would definitely be on the phone.
I think, yeah. Peter. I think it was about showing her the dead cat.
Yeah.
Was you better not come out because this is what we're going to do to you. But it was a signal for the end of winter. So you can stop doing it now. Spring's here.
You've had your fill.
Even though she would come out then because that's when lambing is in the spring. I don't know. But I just thought that was a really super interesting story and I've never heard of it before. But having done a bit of research this afternoon, I'm shocked how much information is out there.
No, that's really cool. That's excellent. If you've got any questions on that or you want to have a look into it, just Google.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's somewhere local. I think we should perhaps add that to our bucket list of places to go and check out.
The Dane Hills, try and find her
See if
bower.
see if we can do something in that place. They're on a little chat to themselves, I think.
Okay, we won't get involved in the little chat that's happening on Facebook.
Okay, before we move on to the next one, because that was all quite dark, let's cheer ourselves up a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to throw something out there that I saw on the internet that made me go, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. And that's the reimagining of a story that is so ingrained in everybody, we just believe it to be true. Even though it's a fictional story, the story of Peter Pan. I don't know if you've seen this. What if Peter Pan's actually the bad guy?
Yeah, and he steals kids to keep them in perpetual childhood.
And Captain Hook
is actually trying to free them.
Is actually the good guy, and he never goes after the other lost boys. He's not interested at all. He is only interested in Peter Pan to stop him from stealing other children.
Yep.
So what if Peter Pan's the bad guy, and we were going, oh, poor little Peter Pan?
Well, they call him Peter Pan, but technically Pan is the name that they don't need the Peter on it.
Which
Pan's the myth. Yeah. Is the actual link.
He was a satyr.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fawn. That's the one I was thinking of earlier. Fawn sort of style.
But
Penny's been watching TikTok videos. Yeah, I know. I keep looking over her shoulder. It's hunky men. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful.
It is not hunky men. Seriously. It's really not. But interestingly, a couple of weeks ago when I said about that man with the really long hair who has the voice of an angel, he's now doing our Eurovision entry.
Oh.
I heard on the radio the other day. It was like, oh.
Little help from you. Brilliant.
Follow you on TikTok. What's that about?
Excellent. Right. Before we do our next little urban person thing.
Yeah.
We went on an excursion today, didn't we? Because we tried to do one last week. We tried to go to one of the deer events, what they called?
Deer spirit events.
Deer spirit events. But then all the kids came around, so we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to come on my birthday because it was midweek.
Yeah. So today we went to Sywell to their craft fair, I think it was called, wasn't it?
It was an Easter craft fair.
Is that the same as a craft fair?
No, it's not in the north. It's
because
here,
it was
so
Northampton, it's a craft.
It's craft fair.
Right, okay. For our viewers in the north, it's a craft fair. For our viewers in the south, it's a craft fair.
And for those of you that speak the Queen's English, it's a craft
There's
fair.
no such thing as the Queen's English. We speak some bastardised piece of French and Latin. The Queen never invented our language.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God rest her soul.
Worry.
Oh, no, not yet.
Oh!
I might have predicted that really early. How cool would that be? In a bad way. Anyway, right, today we went to Sywell Craft Fair.
Yeah.
Which was nice to get out and do a bit of mingling, a bit of networking, which is good. Because with people, the only reason I spotted it was because a shop that's in Malton that advertises on Instagram, that does pages on Instagram. I spotted it on there, and they shared the event. They're called Rockall Gems. So we got to speak to them. But I needed to refill because those that know me and had a reading from me, I'm a bugger. I buy gemstones and kind of rose quartz and things that I'm drawn to. And that one, I have no idea I can't remember what it's called. Part of my brain thinks I should study them because I get such a powerful bits of energy from them. And the other part of me goes, you just complicate it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's when I have looked into it, there's so many different interpretations of what they say that gemstone will do.
And that's why I don't read any of that.
Yeah, so I work intuitively, as I would put it.
I think we spoke to Jess about that, about just take the crystals that you feel drawn to. Don't necessarily go by what the book says they're for. No, exactly. I mean, obviously, if you've got diamonds, that's a definite, clear prosperity one. Well, I haven't got diamonds. I'm just putting it out there.
There we go. Anne-Marie, I think she's already dead. I think she died in February. Oh my God, if we get a breaking conspiracy on this channel, that would be amazing. We'd go viral.
Stop it.
So I was drawn to a piece of rose quartz. And like I was saying, I'm a bugger for I do readings for people, or I'll use the gemstones and I'll hand them to them for them to hold on to. Then I'll read through the stone. And then I end up going, you know what, you keep that because I feel like you need it. So I just end up giving all my stones away.
You do?
So they were from Love Your Presence, I believe was the name of it.
Yeah, that's the lovely...
Yeah, Mita, who was on comments on there.
He's probably watching us going, what am I watching this nonsense for? well, absolute
because you got a free little plug, that's why. No, it was a really good show. We bumped into Anita there and got that plant
called
Mind Your Own Business. That's genuinely what it's called. It's awesome.
That's
a plant called Mind Your Own Business.
We should fill the house with Mind Your Own Business. Put some by the door to ward people off. Apparently, it's notoriously hard to look after, so I'm glad that you bought it as a gift for somebody else.
Yeah, I have.
And we'll see.
Well, I'd say that, but now I've looked at it and I like where it's sitting.
It looks cute there, doesn't it? Now you want to buy another one.
Yeah, I might have to get one. Anita, if you're watching, you might have to work something out for the other one.
Yeah.
And have that one. So, there's Mita there. It's lovely to meet you too. She's not saying anything about how crazy we are at the moment.
We are a little bit bonkers.
So yes, it was a really good show. So I don't know whether it's annually or if they'll have another one sort of in the summer.
I don't know. I think it was Easter focused because of all the kids being off.
Oh yeah, the tombola hustler at the door couldn't get past her.
She was on it.
Do you want to enter the tombola?
She is the salesperson extraordinaire. The first thing that she does is come at you and go, "How many do you want?" And it's like, I just want to go in there.
Yeah.
But you think you're buying tickets to go in, and she's like that. Oh no, this is for the tombola. But thanks for your £5.
Yeah. Luckily, there was a couple of people in front of us that she got, and we spotted that and went, "Oh no, we just wanted to go into the show, thanks."
Yeah.
Miserable buggers we are. It's for the kids. It was to win little bits of chocolate.
We couldn't really afford to go and do it, to be fair. We were doing grown-up things during the week.
So, who else did we meet there?
Who else did we meet? We met lots of lovely people. We met the
lady that made the tablets and fudge. Is it fudge?
Yeah, the different kinds of cream fudge.
Yeah.
We were there for a while and tasted quite a few.
Yeah, that's why I said I had a sugar crash at 5 o'clock.
The rhubarb one smells gorgeous, but I don't know if I like the flavour, and I can't taste the marzipan one at all.
Yeah, no, you couldn't on that one.
Quite disappointed for that.
The rum and raisin one, yeah, that's
She did say, I'd need to go and have a look for the name of her, that somebody had eaten a block of the rum and raisin and then got pulled over by the police who could smell the rum and breathalyzed them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It is quite strong.
Okay.
So, and it does taste like nice Jamaican
but there were
rum.
some gorgeous little trinkets there, some really cute, shiny, pretty things.
There was an awful lot of Etsy-esque. Yeah. And for as much as I like the, what's it called, like silicon-based resin-based ornaments and gems and
Polymer jewelry.
yeah, that kind of it is pretty. I think we're getting flooded with it now because everybody and their mum set up an Etsy shop
Saying
throughout
that,
COVID.
if you want to buy any pocket goddesses,
No, but I think
just let me know.
No. There's a massive difference between buying a spiritually charged handmade item to buying a Etsy-inspired, monetary-based, resin-based pair of earrings. That's
you
profit.
saw some rings that you liked that had chunks of rose quartz, which were really nice. But my first thought was, that's going to turn your finger green the second you put it near it.
Yeah.
That weren't good. That wasn't silver.
But my point is going to be this: we're getting a bit flooded with it now because you can download it, and I've watched the price of things that I'm interested in, like Viking-style swords, axes, and blades. The price have just gone like that because everybody's making them online, and now it becomes a fashion thing. Now it's not a handcrafted. It's not. It feels more mass-produced now.
With that in mind,
that cheapens it, but it hasn't cheapened the cost of it.
No.
And I get that somebody making a pair of earrings, it takes them 6 hours to make it. But not everybody has the luxury of enough money in their bank balance to pay somebody for 6 hours worth of resin earrings.
Yeah.
Do you get my logic? Okay. So sometimes I feel like handcrafting it's torn between an ethnic way of looking at simplicity and then wanting to make a profit.
Is it sharing local craft with other people and therefore a sharing of a belief system? Because if you're selling crystals and things, is it a sharing of information?
Yes.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah. But if it's just Scrabble pieces tied together on a piece of string to spell your name out on a bracelet, that's nothing spiritual about that.
I didn't say that. I would have bought that.
I didn't actually see that at all today, but that's my stereotypical
I would have bought
Etsy
that.
shop is I've got Scrabble pieces that I can type your name so I can put your name on a bracelet.
Take a shine to an owl painting that was really cute. It was an owl sitting on a window ledge in the rain and it said too wet to woo.
That was good.
I thought that was excellent. I didn't buy it though because it was quite expensive.
So there is different people's different motivations behind different shops that are there.
Okay, so if we move away from the craft thing now, because I'm being mindful of time.
Yep.
You had a conversation at school with the children at school about pagan.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else, if you've got kids school age, the word pagan, apparently, according to the kids at the school where I work, it means somebody who's two-faced, a fake friend. The word pagan. And I had to sort of spend a good 5 to 10 minutes explaining to them that my belief structure is that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense. I don't know where they've got this idea from.
When actually pagan means different from a different belief to everybody else.
Yeah.
To the norm, and the norm being Christianity.
Yeah. If
you look up the definition of pagan, it is a different belief system to the norm. And it is, I think that's a really bizarre twist to urban slang that.
Yeah, it caught me a little bit off guard. It was like a modern day, that's a bit of a weird one. So you have to let me know if you've heard it being used in the same context.
Persecution of us pagans.
Right, can I tell you a quick story about Cannock Chase?
Yes.
I have kept this quite quick because this is quite modern. So there's actually...
Thanks, Mita.
Thanks for popping in, Mita. We'll speak again. We'll meet her again. Sorry. She probably hates that. I apologise. That happens all the time. So I've kind of bullet pointed this story because this is quite modern. So this is not buried in myth as such. This is not a story. These are actual events that have created a story.
But that's the point of legend. There's a seed of truth at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's then wound.
That's what I was hoping you would have said with Black Annis. Was there an actual person that was killing?
That lived in a cave.
That was actually killing kids back in the day, or was it just a story to keep kids away from the forest at night?
To make them behave.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to behave and go to bed, or Black Annis will get you.
Exactly. So this one is about Cannock Chase and the forest of Cannock Chase. In 1965, a kid goes missing. In 1966, after there's thousands of people have done searches all over Cannock Chase, a year later, a body's found, which turns out to not be the body of the girl that was first missing. it turns out to be another body of another child, and then under that was another body of another child. So having found one, they then found three, one of which turned out to be
The original
the
child.
original child. 1967, another body is dumped not far from that location, but near to it in a similar setting, so just chucked in a ditch. The reason I'm not going into too much detail with these as well is because of the manner that these kids were treated. Okay, I don't want to go into that detail.
No.
Now, since then, people claim to see dark orbs or kids with jet black eyes. And there is actually a video out, which jury's out on, and you can formulate your own opinion on, of some ghostly figure in the tree line at Cannock Chase, which I've looked at. And
is that drone one? Oh yeah.
So as somebody's moving through
is
the
that
trees,
linked to that story?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
Oh.
What's believed is that this is those spirits are the three girls trying to get some form of karma, because he was only the person that did it, whose name is listed, and you can find that out. He only got charged for one girl's murder because there wasn't enough evidence for the other two.
To link him to the other two.
So they got him on one, and he died not long after that in prison. And he was nearly caught in 1967 as well, because somebody spotted him putting the kid in his car. But the police didn't obviously know where he was. She didn't give them any details of the car. They then found the body the next day. But that was in a different location. So it's believed that these three girls wander around near the location of Cannock Chase, which I'm not going to say out on here, but it's part of Cannock Chase's woods. They go around there and scare people, wandering around with black orbs and jet black eyes.
Wow.
And that's only an hour and a half up the road. Take old...
I think that might be a little journey you do on your own there.
I got me home. I'll find somebody.
Mickey, are you free? Why are all our lights flashing on and off?
See, I just said about taking her to
I
Cannock
noticed
Chase.
that the screen glitched while you was talking about it, but all our lights just flashed. I don't know if you just saw that.
I don't know. What's Mickey lolling at?
Oh, probably the pagan thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
my other one's only a little quick story.
Okay.
And then we can go on to your finale one, which is a really good one.
Is it?
I've been there during the day. It's awesome on a mountain bike. Absolutely love it.
That's freaking me out a little bit. The lights are flashing. Yeah.
Right. The next one I want to talk to you about is Herne the Hunter. Now, the reason I want to talk about this one is because it comes from an urban legend, but it also comes from a belief structure as well as a deity. Herne the Hunter is a ghost associated with Windsor Forest in Windsor, which is somewhere near London, and all the posh people live down south.
Like Windsor Castle.
Windsor Castle, yeah. I'm assuming it's near Windsor Castle. I don't know how big Windsor is. Now this.
Isn't that where Legoland is?
Yeah, because it's called Legoland Windsor. If you work for Legoland, we need some tickets. That was some free promo that we hadn't anticipated there. Plug. Cheers. So Herne the Hunter was first put into something literacy, by William Shakespeare in 1597.
Right. Okay.
Now, the way that he does that in one of his called The Merry Wives of Windsor, which I've never actually seen, so I don't know anything about that one. But I did do some more research into Windsor Forest and the heritage of that, see if I could figure out, if anybody else would figure out where this story comes from. And I did. Herne the Hunter is, I can't move him because he's there, but it's basically a man, the horn, a bow, antlers. There's a snake around his neck. He walks with a wolf and helps a baby doe deer. And it's supposed to depict a man being at one with nature. He understands the circle of life, and that how things that are created have to go full circle. And it's that understanding of everything comes from the earth and everything will go back to the earth. Windsor Forest was originally a massive heathen pagan site. It was massively controlled by, I say controlled, because that was written down by the Christians when they arrived. Went, well, that's our land now.
It was populated by.
So I believe, from what the research I did, and this is something I've looked at before because it's heard, that is exactly where that comes from. That Windsor Forest, that's a pagan story or a heathen story, an early kind of Anglo-Saxon.
Signifies the coming of summer.
Yeah. So their Herne god then becomes a horned god and starts getting changed throughout Christianity. And you've got different things like the horned god and things, but that's different to Herne.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my two. I hope you found them interesting. They were just little bits of information.
I've got another little bit. I just read the lovely Chris's comment.
I was not allowed in Legoland without a child.
No, but that's
Is that
me.
for real?
That's me escorting Alistair, who's clearly more than a little bit.
Don't you worry. I just
Special.
put my glasses slightly wonky, muff my hair up a little bit, and I'll just rock a
Just
bit.
how you look
I'll
usually when you're not on here.
Get us in for free. I've worked with autistic people for the last 20 years. If I can't blag away into a gate, I don't know what else. I've not learned anything.
We can borrow children. That sounds awful. I meant the grandchildren, not as in a
Not our
Black
grandkids, just any
Alice kind
grandkids.
of way. Just going to go and get myself some
But
children.
here's a fact. You can't go into Legoland without kids.
That's shocking. Not really, because it is for kids. I've only ever been there with children, to be fair.
You wouldn't want to be a single bloke walking into Legoland.
No.
That's going to be a red flag straight off.
Yeah. So to go back to what we was originally talking about, there is a obscene number of.
We need to wrap this up soon. I've run out of coffee.
Yeah, but that's why I got your water. Of road ghosts that are associated with Northamptonshire, in that there are ones that step out in the road. There are ones that apparently on certain parts of road will appear in the back of your car.
Oh, the hairy hands of Dartmoor.
That's not local though.
No, I know.
But
It just
stop
reminded me
that.
of that one.
No, there's one that you will see his face in your back seat. When you look in the rearview mirror, his face will suddenly appear. So there's quite a lot of them. And there's one that's linked to the World's End pub in Ecton, which is, where is it? The World's End pub is built on the site of a former prison that housed prisoners from the Battle of Naseby in 1645, and it's believed to be haunted by those prisoners. It is also believed to be haunted by one of the barmaids who was killed by a former lover who she'd spurned in his fit of rage. On top of that, there is a female ghost that is outside of the World's End that apparently just emerges in the middle of the road at night. And there's a story about a car that physically drove through her, and as it drove through, it overturned. And I tried to find information on that to validate it, but I'd run out of time, to be fair, because as soon as you start looking at crashes and ghosts, actually, there's an obscene number of stories out there about that. And quite a lot of them are linked to Northamptonshire. So I'm going to leave you with a story of the Dutch doll. Now, some of you may have heard of the Dutch doll before, and as I said, we were going to talk about her before, but we ended up doing Rothwell Crypt instead. So it's worth noting, in medieval England, Northampton was the capital city, not London. Northampton was the capital city for apparently 2 centuries, because it's at the centre of the country, which makes lots of sense. So because of that...
It does from a military standpoint. It doesn't from a trade and exchange standpoint.
No, because we're nowhere near water. We're the furthest county from water.
Yeah, so as a land defence, Yes.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But from everything else, it's a bit rubbish. But because of that, there's lots of castles and stately homes and huge mansions and things built around this area. Any that were here, quite a lot of them now are ruins, or it's the remains of, more than anything else. So there's quite a lot that goes on in Northamptonshire. So this is a story that comes from Findon, which is a little village just outside of Wellingborough, if you don't know it. In Findon is St Mary the Virgin Church, which has the Reverend Richard Coles as the vicar, who was the lovely second person in the Communards.
And for our younger viewers, the Communards are
a band that was very well known in the 80s.
Excellent, because originally when you said the Communards, it sounds like a group of birds.
Does it?
They live on an island.
Oh.
It's covered in Communards, this place. See what I mean?
That's hilarious. I like it a lot.
That's how my brain jumped.
So, and he put this story out on Twitter, but when he first heard about this story, he became quite obsessed with it himself and put it out there on social media. So, in the 1900s, there was a charity girls' school in Findon Village. Somebody made a 3-foot wooden doll that represented an 18th century schoolgirl, and she was positioned, this gigantic doll, above the doorway of the school, and she was nicknamed the Dutch doll. I don't know why, but the girls were all absolutely terrified of her, and didn't like the look of her at all. They were quite freaked out by her. That wasn't helped by the fact that stories were spread that the doll walked around the school at night.
Stealing mobile phones.
No, not them, clearly. Might have been a Nokia.
Yeah.
Dutch.
Nokia 1.
But, so everybody all these children were terrified of this doll. We do have a picture of it that we at some point will pop up on the...
Yeah, I'll post the picture up.
Yeah, we'll post the pictures up on the social media so you can have a look at it, so it makes sense. So the stories going around about this doll walking around the school at night, making everybody scared. When the school closed down, the doll was taken down and moved to the church, where they mounted it on the wall. So time passed, and then obviously out of fear of the doll's ability to move around unaided, somebody sawed off her legs to stop her walking around. But nobody knows who, nobody knows when it was done. It was just done that they just went, oh, hang on a minute, she's got no legs anymore. They've clearly been sawn off. Okay, nobody's admitted to doing this. Okay. In the 1980s, the doll vanished. It just disappeared off the wall of the church and has never been seen again. Did she leave of her own accord? Did she go searching for her legs? Or did somebody steal her? Nobody has seen her since. Nobody has admitted to taking her. Nobody's found her. It's apparently been a huge search, an international search for has anybody seen the doll.
In a bit, I'll share the tweet.
Never been seen again.
The vicar posted.
And it's quite a little village.
Be one of the locals. They got spooked by it, took it down and burnt it.
Yeah, probably, because it was made of wood.
They went up to the church, pitchfork in one hand, lantern in the other, grabbed the doll, off they went.
But I was just quite surprised. Quite a good little mystery there. But I like the fact that she walked around the school, so they took her legs off.
Yeah. How weird.
It is weird, but it really
Anne-Marie's saying the same, where you were saying about driving along, it's misty along that area.
It is.
Yeah, I've not
Admittedly,
noticed
there are lowland bits there where it comes off the field. The mist will come off the field and sit in the dips. But there's always spooky stories around roads. But that is quite a creepy road at night. I've driven that road at night quite a lot, and it's a bit unnerving.
Mm.
And that's like a really old part of Northamptonshire, that area.
that. Well, yeah, like
Well,
you
how
said, Northampton
interesting.
is an old city, town, big town. Don't know.
It's a town.
Well, I found out the other day, city doesn't actually have anything to do with whether it's got a cathedral in it
I
or
know.
anything. It's got nothing to do with
Had
that
this
at all.
conversation with our boy
Yeah,
as well.
it's all to do with them writing a letter and the Queen saying yes or no.
You have to apply
Yeah,
to be a city, and there is no actual criteria.
and as far as if I remember rightly, there's a Coventry is actually it's either I think it's Coventry or somewhere else isn't actually a city anymore because it forgot to submit paperwork.
That was it.
It's one of them, and they forgot.
They've been
now
classed
they
as a
can't get it
city
back.
for years, like lots of years, decades, and they forgot to fill in the paperwork.
And it gets even more crappy because the bureaucratic way of doing things, all the paperwork, all the borders are all different.
Yeah.
So none of the borders match up for where the towns, cities, council groups, where they all match.
Anyway, that's just.
So yeah.
But,
So yeah, that's our week in a nutshell.
and a few little fun,
Spooky things.
spooky stories. There's loads of them. There's absolutely tons of spooky stories around Northamptonshire. Absolutely tons. Quite a lot about monks. There was a lot of monasteries locally. Apparently, there's one that crosses a bridge locally to get to what was where the monastery was. And it's not there anymore, but it just wanders across the footbridge above the road.
Nice.
I don't know how he would be up there, because if they follow the path where they were before, unless there was a hill there that they've cut out to put the road in.
Well, isn't he an aware spirit? So is he aware of what's going on? So he's walking on
I don't
the new
know,
bit?
but this monk apparently was spotted by a policeman, an off-duty policeman, who was quite freaked out by it, and a random walker on 2 separate occasions, and it was reported to the police. So.
Anyway, right, we best let these lovely people go. We've just clicked over the hour, so excellent.
Super.
Thank you very much, Mickey. It's always nice to get a proper YouTuber's opinion on the show. It's good. Thank you. Road safety monk. There we go. That's what it was.
Yeah. Excellent.
Now, Marion, thank you. It was very interesting once again. Hopefully we'll have a good week. I'm going to be off, so expect some posts on our social media.
But not from me.
No, so they'll be to do with. I'm just trying to confirm another date for a psychic night at Ryan's coffee shop in Boothville, Northampton. I'm going to sort out another venue, hopefully in Rushden. A tarot workshop becoming available soon.
Tarot parties are booking up fast. So
and if
you're
anybody knows,
interested, you must get in touch with us so we can get you booked in.
yes. And yeah, that's it. Mugs will be going out next week. I'm just collecting everybody's addresses up to send them off. I had to wait for the packaging for the mugs to come. It wasn't as easy a process as I thought it was going to be. Let's do a mug promotion giveaway.
Anyway.
So I hope you all feel grateful when you get your mugs in the post. Sorry it's taken so long. Prior planning and preparation. The next one we do, when it's the 100th show, will be much better by then. We'll be much cleaner, much more professional YouTubers by then.
Yes, Anne-Marie. Reply to my message about dates now.
Excellent.
You must get on it. We're getting booked up really quickly.
Yeah, parties are becoming quite popular now, especially as we're coming up to the summer. Book a party, sit outside, get yourself some Pims going. Pims and a reading. So yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Let me just get rid of all of this.
Remember, like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Click the bell for notifications on the YouTube.
And thank you to the Love Hearts from Anne-Marie, Justin, Marion, Jessica, and Mitta. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, my
So yeah, love and light to you all. And stay tuned for the outro because you know I put a lot of time and effort into it. So right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Night.